the purpose of today's recording is to get some information off Clayton, the manufacturer of the water structuring units. So, Clayton, do you mind sharing how did you get into this? What's your background in and what made you form the water structuring devices?
Well, my background is I came off of a farm in Minnesota, so I was really very attuned to what water does and how it functions in nature. Uh, and I spent time in college in engineering, and subsequently I went into the Air Force. Uh, in the Air Force, they offered me a job, and I took that job. The job had to do with it had to do with um, uh, research and development and in electronics, and communication systems. So um, I I spent 20 years in the Air Force and retired in 1979. I also went back into the Air Force and I spent another about 20 years as a consultant to the Air Force in the same field that I was represented uh, being in the Air Force. Uh, my background, basically, I have about 16 years of higher education. Um, I My education primarily is uh, would be physics um, and chemistry, medicine, um, religion. Um, in order for me to travel the worldwide um, and safely and securely, um, but um, but primarily, uh, if I were out here in this world, I would be a physicist, and I still could be. I just have to go back to some university for a year and get a degree. The military did not require degrees; they just required um, getting things done, and that's what I did
Yeah,
Smart people.
for 40 years.
Yeah.
nice, impressive. And was it in that job that you learn about structured water?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I I experienced structured water primarily out in nature again, waterfalls, rivers, waterfalls coming out of the mountains, and I was looking at the consistency of not only water but the physicalness of the territory that I was in, the trees, the rocks, whatever it may be. Again, looking at the energy of the patterns, and so the energy is what physics is all about, and the chemical makeup is chemistry. I was looking at the physics, the energy, and I found that there were certain waters at certain times that had a significantly high energy of what we would call structured water, uh, similar to Lords of France or Hunza water of Pakistan, where the water is if it is significantly advanced energetically, where people live inordinately longer lives. They have babies at 80 years old. I mean, all those things that perfect water can bring. So, um, when I discovered these waters, I would capture them and take them back to my lab and explore them. I worked for the government. I was engaged with a lab with probably 400 lab technicians and over $1 billion worth of equipment.
Wow.
And they were always looking for things to do, so I give them things to do. That's how,
Okay.
that's when I discovered structured water. And I wanted to know, then I wanted to develop it into being able to recreate it so that I could have it for me, no matter where I was in the world. When I left the military, I I didn't do anything with it primarily because when I left the military, I signed a non-disclosure, non-circumvent agreement that everything that I learned, everything that I did, everything that I engaged in uh, was not for me to disclose in any way. So I spent a few years like that. A friend of mine retired, uh, and he offered me a way out. He said the non-disclosure, non-circumvent that I signed was not uh, was not what it needed to be. So he got me released from it. And when I got that release, I went in and started recreating structured water technologies. It took me 5 years to find an engineer out in this world capable of mastering physics, energy. Once I did, uh, we created the technology and put it into uh, put it into a physical form, and the company is still there, though it gets complicated after this. The company that I started and initiated, uh, my partner took it from me when I retired, and and it got really complicated and expensive. So
So that was Natural Actual Consultancy. Was that the
there
one?
are natural action technologies,
Okay, yeah. Because
right?
I remember seeing them back in the day. They were probably the most popular water
Right.
structuring units at that time. Yeah.
Yes,
And
I created natural action water in 2008, and in 2010 changed it to natural action technologies. Uh, and and I went for 10 years. I retired 2018, I believe, sometime in that area. Um, uh, I had signed for a vehicle and a loan from a bank. Though
Mhm.
when I started the company, I did it all on my own dime. It wasn't until I took partners on that they needed to have more money.
Mm.
And I was the signature of that money. When I retired, the bank wouldn't release me. They made me responsible. I am
Oh wow.
responsible. And when my company stopped making the payment, he took my 800 and I don't know 880 uh, um, um, ability to borrow money. He took it down to zero.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I started another company in 2000. Let's see, uh, about 2019, 20, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Mm.
Uh, and by 2023, uh, um, the engineer that I found was capability to to understand physics, energy. and uh, we created a technology that I just chose to label structured water created by Clayton because it was not my intention to do this again the rest of my life.
Mm, yep.
So here we
So,
are.
okay.
And this
Thank you.
technology is um, if you no matter what unit you look at, um, the biophoton energy is biophoton energy is basically chi energy. It's similar to the energy that when you exercise, you create chi. You create an energy that enables your um, your immune system to be tuned up and charged up. Chi also enables your cell at the cellular level to communicate with each other and your brain. And the beautiful thing about structuring is it increased the chi, um, which is measured as biophoton energy field. Uh, a a physicist that did this for all of his life was Fritz Albert Popp. That's what he studied was the biophoton energy um, of all things. When he come across my technology, he was blown away, as is the technologists in Russia, all across the world. And if you can go on my website, there's a study done by Pakistan where they took a portable and they ran water through it one drop at a time. And everything that I've ever said about structured water, they proved one drop at a time through a structured water unit. I'm going to say
Awesome.
something. That portable, the
Mm,
biophoton energy field of that portable is 0.0001. And the people who have my technology, natural action technologies, there are people that have been running them for 15 years. They wouldn't be without them. This new technology is hands down superior. The portable has a 4.5 biophoton energy field. My highest is a ultra high energy house unit. It has a biofield of 9,072. And if you want to know what biophoton does, my first opportunity, when I first initiated my product in November of 2023, uh, actually a few months prior, I had an opportunity to work with turkey farmers in South Dakota. And they had lost their crop of turkeys for 2 years running, cost them $15 million. And I took some of my old technology, revitalized it with my new technology, and aided them to be bird flu free.
it's pretty relevant now with the bird flu news that's coming out in New Zealand and Australia. They're saying that it's there and they're wanting to put down birds. So if people were to give their animals structured water, it would help remove or kill the virus, or how does that work?
Well, structured water basically creates an energy field. That energy field neutralizes all toxins, hydrocarbons, and it eliminates all bacteria, viruses, molds, and pathogens. It totally eliminates them because Uh, Bacteria, viruses, molds, and pathogens cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment. Structured water creates a significant amount of free oxygen. Water itself, 25% increase in oxygen. If you have the structured air unit, it produces 35%. 35% free oxygen. Where does the free oxygen come from? Oxygen is the memory bank of water. It remembers everything that the water has passed through or passed by it since it came out of nature. Everything is that it's passed through. You consider cities all across the world. People are drinking and bathing and in water that the cities reclaim, and statistically, uh, uh, people, or let's say the water, goes through 23 people before it goes back into nature to be restructured or structured. Natural structuring occurs when when water is dehydrated, goes up in the atmosphere and returns as rain. However, today, that rain, when it's coming down, has to pass through about 1 or 2 tons of carbon, which is basically acid.
Mm.
But structured
So
water
that's
and rainwater, rain is still structured, even though there's all that carbon in the water. When a drop of rain hits the leaf of a plant, it jumps up for joy. Real water doesn't exist much anymore in nature. Does temporarily, but there's so much stuff that it has to deal with.
so. What's the difference? What did you do to increase the bioenergy field of the old units versus the new units, so people can understand why your units are more energetic, have more chi?
The you can change the old unit by you can change its ability, basically. uh, um, all of my technology has uh, built into it basically all the frequencies uh, that that are necessary for life, for the human physiology to uh, rebuild, to repair and rebuild. And and if you have the old technology, you can simply take the new technology water and spray the old unit or run the water through the old unit, and you will have an increase in the frequencies made available for for people, whether they're bathing or drinking or ingesting or whatever, however they're using the structured water. But you can't change the energy field. The energy field is determined the uh, by the flow form design, the flow form canister, the waveform. And a lot of people ask me, so if I cut your unit open, what will I see? And I'll ask them, have you ever been in electronics where um, uh, where they have these big um, uh, the big wave generators. If you cut my unit open, there's nothing in it that you could identify. It's a energy creator. But that energy creator must be in a specifically designed field to work. It's physics. Actually, it's simple physics.
Interesting. So what's the science that you done on all that you're talking about in terms of what devices did you use to measure all this?
Uh, when you're working, when you're like I work for the government, they required that everything be proven scientifically. Uh, After 2 or 3 years, I had a specific assignment, and they kept asking, well, why isn't it done yet? I said, because you want it proven scientifically. And where we are, there's no scientific equipment to test this. So we have to design the equipment. And it takes time.
Mm,
The original equipment, I wrote this to you. It's interferometer.
yeah.
Interferometer, the back in my day, the interferometer that was used cost $10 million. It was called a nuclear magnetic resonator. And basically what it did is it it shined a light, and they would put a water molecule uh, they would put a water molecule in the light, and basically, and the further it got away from the light, the bigger it got. And that's how they measured the hydrogen bond angle. When you get a hydrogen bond angle of 120 degrees, everybody knows that's structured water, perfect structured water.
Which is H3O2.
Which is which is um, H H2O. Um, yeah, hydrogen. It's one at one atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen.
Um,
All these
because
other
everyone,
all
yeah,
these other uh, no, I won't even go into it. It's H2O.
okay.
I mean, you can derive or devise or whatever. The What makes water? What's the formula for water to exist? Do you know?
Russell, unmute yourself.
Yeah, H2O.
Yes, but what makes it exist? What makes water water?
Sabine,
Mm.
It is that
The
oxygen
oxygen.
has a covalent bond, the
Yeah.
ability to hold two atoms of another substance. And in this case, two atoms of hydrogen attached to one atom of oxygen, creating H2O, creates water.
Mhm.
And the hydrogen bond angle is if you were to take those two atoms, wherever they are located on the oxygen atom, and draw a line through the center of them, where that line comes together in the center of the oxygen atom, that's the hydrogen bond angle.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So perfect water has a hydrogen bond angle of 120 degrees.
Mm.
That's
Hey, Clayton, does this hydrogen bond angle have to do, some call it like a 0 point, where the water, where the feminine and the masculine unites? Is that similar to that hydrogen bond angle?
Yes,
Where, yeah,
yes, you could
okay.
say that.
Yeah, beautiful. And may I ask in regards to, yeah, testing, because we've been getting really good results. People love the house units, the portable ones, and I've heard that some people have used a GDV, the gas discharge visualization. Have you ever used that as well, where people, where it shows, well, also live blood analysis, for example, that the blood is, there is no clotting of blood, there is, everything is flowing nicely, there is more of a balance of left and right hemisphere. There is, yeah, where apparently the GDV is a great device to that some people have used and saw great difference after drinking structured water and what it does in their body as well. Because often we're getting asked, okay, if I drink structured water, how does that change my blood? How does it work in my body? And how fast does it work? How long do you need to drink structured water to counterbalance any imbalances in the body? If, yeah, probably a big question. Um,
You have not looked at the science on my website. I have
Probably
over
not entirely.
I have over uh, probably over 30 or 40 studies done
Hmm.
back in 2010, 2012. My researchers kept saying to me, "Why are we doing this? Nobody reads it. Nobody looks at it." But I said,
Mm.
someday they will. Someday they'll have to because it's the answer.
Mm.
So all these studies really, they show where a person would come in, do a baseline GDB, take a drink of water, and within 10, 15 minutes, their whole physiology would correct, change.
Does that include like your aura?
The aura is separate. Uh, aura basically is uh, uh, aura is the color of the anomaly within the physiology. So the color of the anomaly, there's it was uh, uh, an individual who does color that I mean that's a whole nother subject.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
Mm.
but uh, but yeah, there's Denshaw, uh, and the son of the actual inventor, Darius Denshaw. You can get a book. It's called "Let There Be Light" by Darius Denshaw.
Mm.
Um, and and his father developed a technology that would shine a light the on your body, and that light would be the opposite of the light being emitted by your aura,
Okay.
and uh, it would render that aura light harmless, or basically eliminate it, thereby eliminating the disease in the body. But it's
So that
consuming. It's a consuming technology. You had to shine the light on your body for an hour, and for each disease in that book, there's formulas for, I believe, 360 some diseases. But you have to shine light on your body.
Mm. So structured waters.
I'm a physicist, and in physics, it's all about energy. So if you consider this, everything you eat and everything you drink goes out your elimination system. So what feeds you? What feeds your cells? What gives you energy? It's the energy of the food you eat and drink, riding on a water molecule to every cell in your body. I've written about this clearly, detailed, every stop it has to make. When water, the water molecules of structuring, the water has to be structured in order to enter the cell wall. The cells have no doorways, no openings. What allows the water to pass through is the viscosity of the water, the tension of the water. And when a water molecule comes to a cell in the form of a cluster of water molecules, which is what? Hexagonal water. 6 water molecules in a cluster. Hexagonal water. When that water molecule cluster comes to a cell, the cell needs vitamin A. The water molecule and the cell negotiate. The water molecule has to prove that it's valid, that it's real, because we have found scientifically that cancer can disguise itself. So when the water molecule proves itself, it proves itself by kind of like a credit card. Once it proves itself that it's valid, then the cargo of the water molecule, and by the way, a structured water molecule can carry 440,000 pieces of information, basically frequencies. One water molecule, and you can't see that water molecule. There are very few devices that can measure it. 6 water molecules in a row is 1 nanometer long, 1/1000th of a meter. Anyway, when you get into science, you're talking about a whole new ballgame. Like I said, and it's expensive. There's no reason for it other than, no, I won't go into that one either. Other than if you want to prove structuring, the GDV is a perfect way to do it. Like I said, I've got 20 or 30 studies on my website showing it. I even have video proving it. I don't, when you come to me asking for these specific answers to these specific questions, I've done this for 60 years. And the majority of it is in writing. It kind of sets me back a bit. I have to state this. This is something that is simple. It works, and the technology, the equipment lasts forever. There's nothing to replace. There's no electronics. There's no chemicals. There's no There's nothing to replace. Lasts forever.
So you've
But
got a
but
11
again,
year, one
I,
9 year warranty, isn't it?
but again, you have to have the energy. If you don't have the energy up there, there's a whole lot of things in this world that demand, or let's say if they get into your system, they get into your water, they're pretty aggressive. To combat bird flu, the biophoton energy has to be 1500 or more. COVID, 1800. The real big new one today is
Marlboro
uh,
or something?
is what?
Is it Marlboro or something like
Well, there's a new one that's it's not necessarily new. It's but it takes a biophoton energy field to 3000. And
that? And what about the C word that you were talking about before? Can people cure that?
do with what?
The C word that you were talking about before, can people cure that?
Um, I don't know. I don't understand what that is.
I
The
think Clayton
cancer.
said it. Oh, cancer, did you mean? I thought you meant COVID.
COVID
Can,
is
yeah, yeah, whatever.
COVID can be
Okay.
eliminated. Uh, what this technology does is it goes into your system and builds up your immune system, where eventually you can go anywhere in the world and your immune system will protect you no matter what the conditions are.
Mm.
And
I've got a question on that. We have a customer who drinks a lot of structured water, mostly out of the super portable, and this person tends to get sick often. Her immune system suffers, and they've made inquiries about the statement that you just made with the immune system being better. So
yes,
why would this person get sick if they're drinking a lot of structured water, organic food, and so on?
well, there's um, there's a whole lot of stuff out there, unless you go into a way of being able to isolate whatever it is, you
Mm,
know. Uh, Basically, when you were talking about a portable, even the super portable, it's minimal energy wise. Um, if he has a disease or a condition, if the condition is no matter what the condition is based on, he just needs more energy in his water and or
okay.
air. And tell him to breathe through it. Tell him to
Mm,
do it. Have Russell talk to him. And Russell can give you a really clear picture, anyone, a really clear picture of what breathing through the portable can gift you with. I mean,
so,
you have to add more energy into your physiology. I mean,
Mm.
asking me uh, to uh, uh, to tell you why things are the way they are is
mm,
there's no way.
Mm. I think we need to emphasize it a bit more with our followers and customers that they can breathe through the device because a lot of people
mm,
are so focused on structuring the water and they forget about the great benefits of breathing through it. And yeah, and also we do that even, yeah, in the mornings and when we do some meditation, we put it on a what is it, like a blower or something, and
man.
we
Mm,
on a fan, yeah, on a special fan where we get the yeah, the beautiful structured air throughout the whole room. So I think that's a really good reminder for us to emphasize it more with our people, to use it for breathing and not just for structuring water.
Mm.
And the
Yeah.
and the other aspect of that is that sure, they might be getting good structured water into their body, but what geopathic stress lines are they sleeping on?
Right.
You know,
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
yeah,
Nobody looks at that, Russell.
no,
Mm.
No one.
exactly. Yeah. And that's just
mm,
as important as the water. You can do the
Yes.
water and it doesn't change because you're on the stress. You can eradicate the stress, but
mm,
then you've got to do the water. So it's important. All the other little aspects that people forget about.
mm.
Mm. So what
Basically,
are the
Mm,
I'm going to just say basically with structured water and structured air in your life, you would need no no medication whatsoever because
Mhm.
there's really no medication that serves you.
Not like structured water does.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But
so the difference of drinking structured water versus breathing structured water? What are the differences?
well, breathing structured air. Uh, the
But yeah.
difference primarily is with structured air, you're getting all the nutrients your body needs to rebuild with every breath. When you're drinking structured water, the only time you're using structured water is when you're drinking it or bathing in it or uh, um, whatever you may be using it for, but you're not engaged with it enough. You need to
Mm.
be, I mean, if you're going to have a house unit with a 630, I mean, you need to be engaged with it. You need to be you need to be have an avenue of breathing structured air also.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
working with it.
and the the and also you need you need to be um, uh, to know that your DNA is improving, and your DNA is a function of your conscious awareness. So the more that you're giving to others, the more that you are acting in the best interest of all concerned, your consciousness, your consciousness increases or improves.
Mhm.
And structured water and structured air, the structured air and structured water and structured air's mandate is to rebuild your physiology in accordance with your current DNA.
So that would mean setting you back to your original blueprint,
No, current blueprint.
which would be upgraded from your original
Yes.
blueprint. Mm.
Again,
So it's a great,
your conscious awareness as you are giving, as you are engaging in the best interest of all concerned.
mm,
Mm.
I could introduce you to a guy in Canada who does it all with a spray bottle. He makes supercharged he makes supercharged structured water, puts it in a spray bottle, and everything he sprays changes.
Mhm.
He can spray the atmosphere and eliminate chemtrails. or
Mm.
he can turn off the rain, or he can bring on the rain.
So
We
how does he do that? Does he
we as
squirt
human
into the
beings
air or?
have command authority.
Yeah.
How does he do that? He does it
Mm,
because he knows he can. He knows that he's
mm.
authorized. He believes in himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So explain how the spray bottle spraying the front fender of a car would help fuel mileage, or sorry, gas mileage.
Excuse me, just before we let Clayton
Mm.
talk, I have to leave because I have to be at an appointment. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Clayton. And also, we'll definitely pass on the GDV, all the results that you've been accumulating that I've been very ignorant towards and haven't watched on your website. Anyway,
I
thank you so much.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I have a GDV. I have a GDV
Ah, yeah.
and I have not
Okay.
used it. I haven't used it for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. Why?
Okay.
Because
You,
it's extensive. It's setting it up,
mm,
maintaining its in the integrity, you know,
yeah.
and that GDV cost me 30,000 euros
Oh gosh.
out of Russia.
Oh.
And basically it's against the law in this country, as it
Mm-hmm.
is in yours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why?
We've heard about that.
Because we have an American Medical Society, and you have something similar. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
AGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you
There's
so much, Clayton.
there's
Really
four
appreciate it.
countries in
And
the world that don't use it. It can diagnose every condition and give you an answer for it.
Mm, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you,
So,
Sabine.
all right. No, thank you. I'll leave you to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Talk
Okay.
soon
Bye bye.
again. Bye for now.
So, Clayton, we were talking about how so people can
Oh,
understand
the
the
bumper.
spray bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, you want the bumper. Okay, because structured water, the change to make water structured is changing the molecular structure of hydrogen. You're making hydrogen, you make one atom of hydrogen perfect. Every atom of hydrogen it comes in contact with is made in its image. Perfect. So if you spray
Mm.
the bumper of a car, instantaneously, every atom of hydrogen in that vehicle is changed, is corrected, is made perfect, including the gasoline in your gas tank.
Mm.
Gives you an instantaneous 30% increase in your gas mileage. But your computer in 200 miles kicks in and says, no, 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 that's not possible. Takes it back.
Mm. Yeah, I did this. I sprayed my car with structured water from the whole house, and I personally found it really hard to notice if I was getting any more fuel mileage out of it. Um, would that be because that you mentioned the computer kind of resets the car frequently?
About on or about 200 miles.
Hmm.
After that, doesn't matter what you do. The only thing is, the only thing is, what structuring will do is give you a significant increase in energy. If you have a six-cylinder, it'll act like an eight-cylinder will act like it's turbocharged. Uh,
Mm.
your spark plugs will never foul up. There's a whole lot of things that change in your vehicle when you structure it.
I wonder if they're using structured water to cool down the AI supercomputers.
Um, uh,
I don't think
the
so
people,
because
the
they're
people I worked with 30, 40 years ago uh, were using it for memory.
Right.
to store memory.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did the whole spray the car thing, and I had a phenomenal result. Like the car
But
was smooth,
isn't
powerful.
yeah,
Go on.
is your car over 30 years old?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
less.
But
Yeah.
you think about it. If you have a car like or a Jeep, for instance, the Jeep
Mm,
doesn't have a I mean, the older Jeeps don't have computers,
yeah.
or you have a tractor without a computer. I mean, you get the 30% increase in gas mileage. It's significant.
Mm,
Wow.
it is. Mm.
So what you've said is basically all the science is on your website. I guess everyone wants to know the science and then they don't want to go and read it, do they? Because they probably don't even understand it. So for anyone listening, it's all there on his website. You can see that
Actually,
he's done.
actually, my website is easy to understand. It was written by people who didn't understand, yes, but they kind of grasped it. So they guys grasped it enough to put a message forth. So
Mm,
Mm. Mm.
yeah, awesome. Is there any other questions that you have, Russell, that might be helpful to the people listening?
No, not off the top of my head at this point. Um,
Mm,
what I
so,
would say, what I was going to say to you, I've said it to you before, I'll say it again. The best information that your audience can get is your experience because
mm,
you
mm,
understand that,
mm,
mm.
or at least you should.
yeah. So that's good. Russell, do you want to speak about your experience with structured water so far?
Oh yeah. Look, basically, I had a profound experience. I don't know if people know about the Herxheimer's reaction or the healing crisis, but after less than a week of drinking the highly structured water, I went into a massive Herxheimer's reaction where my whole shoulder just locked up from an old injury. And I knew about the structuring, the Herxheimer's reaction. So I've gone, oh, okay, that's a Herxheimer's. And I didn't worry about it because I knew in no time at all it had passed. And it did. 3 days later, everything was back to normal again. And, of course, that my hair is going a lot darker. Uh, so many different subtle things have changed.
Mm,
And yeah, and it's overall, I'm just 100% like, okay, so I was looking at the hundreds of trees that need to um, be tidied up because we live in a rainforest. And I thought, gee, that's going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars to get someone to do that. And I was scratching my head, wondering how I was going to do that. And once I started the structured water, I looked up the trees and thought, well, I can actually get up them now. I don't have any fear around it.
Right.
mm, yeah. And that's what I noticed is the increase of energy. I used to get tired a lot more and I have more energy now, so I'm more awake and alert. And I feel if I could say one thing that I've noticed from structured water is the ability to connect to the infinite consciousness that's available to us. I feel
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's easier to grasp for what you want.
Yes.
On top of that, I did a live blood analysis recently, and just before I went, like obviously I'd been drinking structured water now for a year and a half or two, and before I went to the live blood analysis, I thought, oh, I'm going to drink a shitload of highly structured water. So I did that. And I went there an hour after, and she did a blood analysis, which I have on my YouTube channel. And you can see just the blood just flowing like a river.
Yeah.
And she confirmed that that was from the structured water. So it's really bringing the life force back in the body. So that's by far the best thing that I've seen. And also, we're using structured water in combination with microbes, soil microbes over here in Australia called Your Earth Food. And I feel like it helps the product, helps the microbes work better. Like it kind of, I'd say, increases the availability of the product that you're working with. Would you agree on that, Clayton?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Mm,
everything that takes it on and and utilizes it, it increases productivity.
mm,
It would be the same thing with a septic tank. You put structured water, use structured water in your home, your septic tank works perfectly, basically
Mhm.
mm,
because a septic tank, uh, the uh, needs oxygen, and structured water
mm.
is giving it the free oxygen that it needs.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
everything that's wrong in say like the smell in a urinal goes away basically because the oxygen uh, uh, consumes the bacteria or the that causes the smell, consumes it, and it makes it into dirt. Everything
Mhm.
that is all living organisms, like with bacteria, viruses, molds, and pathogens, they turn to dirt
Mhm.
Mm.
because they can't survive in an oxygen-rich environment.
And from my understanding, does it do this by, let's say you've got a toxin, let's say fluoride. Now, by the way, I had a shower unit on my old house, and we have fluoride in the water here, and the smell went away. But explain how that works so people can visualize it. Does the water molecules surround and engulf the toxin?
Sits around, engulf the toxin. The the water molecules are if a toxin is engaged, the um, the what the water molecule does is uh, it it engages with the toxin and actually corrects its hydrogen. Um, hydrogen is within the formula of all things. Everything that exists has hydrogen in it.
Mhm.
So when structured water or structured air comes to let's say, uh, anything physical, it changes the physical's formulation by making the hydrogen component perfect. So
Okay.
when you're talking about toxins or physical materials, say like a simple one would be chlorine, for instance. It's toxin,
Mm,
poison.
Mhm.
mm,
When you put structured water in it or next to it or whatever, uh, the 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 toxin becomes non-poisonous, but
Mhm.
the chlorine still has its its ability. its ability to eradicate bacteria, virus, molds, pathogens. It's just that the the toxin chlorine doesn't kill all bacteria. There's a bacteria that occurs in swimming pools that chlorine can't touch. There are toxins that come into your home. They come in on your shoes. They come in through the air, however, they come in with the cardboard box, or let's say the bag, or wherever that bag has been or that box has been, brings in a significant amount of adversarial conditions. When you have structured water in your home, it addresses those conditions to the best of its ability.
Would you say it takes the charge out of the water molecule, therefore reducing or sort of nullifying the toxin so it doesn't have that charge or that information that can cause issues for someone's health?
No. What it does is it changes the hydrogen component of the toxin, rendering it inert.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Yep.
Very impressive. So I think we've covered everything. We've covered structured water for drinking, breathing, structured air. We've covered how it helps the garden, how it can take smells out of things, how it can help gas mileage. We've covered the science, who Clayton is, what product he has. So is there anything that we haven't mentioned, or a message that you'd like to leave for the end of this interview for the people?
It works.
Get one. Get one.
and you always say to people, prove me otherwise, because you know that
prove me wrong.
That you know that you have the testing and the information. So for anyone who's skeptical, give it a go for yourself.
The other thing is, I'm 87 years old. I'm going to be here long beyond you. Why? Because I'm fully engaged with structured water and structured air.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get one of these air units, Russell. And what's the bio-energy photon field of the air unit?
3,600.
Whoa, that's a big one. Okay, awesome. Well, that was very informative, Clayton, and we really appreciate it. Feel free to stop the recording, and thank you for your time.
Okay, very good.